Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to try out our mats that we made for the mini excavator. We've got a pond dredging project that was specifically going to need some higher flotation to perform the project, other than what the machine already offers with tracks. We built up some crane mats out of some railroad ties, and now we're going to give them a test. So here we've got the pond. The homeowner pumped most of the water out. There's still a couple inches out there. We're gonna try and just deal with it as we get to it. There's not a whole lot else we can do. The pond is mostly full of organic matter that's just built up probably from a lot of these trees and then some of the oak trees behind me and stuff. What is the whole story is that this is a generally low area, and when the homeowner built his house and moved in, he had a dozer come and push up and I guess spread out the material from this pond to kind of create the pond and make some higher elevated yard space. It was only 5 or so feet deep, he said, when they made it originally, and now it's only, 6 or 18 inches deep, something like that, between near the banks and the center and stuff. This pond does not have a proper outlet structure. It does just have this little old piece of plastic field tile. It runs through the field and then down over the hill over there somewhere else. As you can see, it's pretty silted full and it's probably not working too good, but that's not the focus of today's project. Today, he just wants to get this back down to having a reasonable water depth to help keep the water a little bit cleaner. A lot of this is pretty soft looking. I think it's gonna be a challenge. The part I'm standing on here is, you can stand on it, but as soon as, as soon as you get out there very far, it turns mushy. We'll see how it goes, but there's only one way to find out, and that's to get started. All right, the first thing I want to do here is kind of figure out where a hard bottom might be. I'm hoping there is one. Yeah, that's not too bad. Oh, the stuff is just goo. Just absolute goo. I don't think, there's not going to be any sitting on top of that. Oh boy. Cool. Alright, this is my first pond dredging. I'm still trying to figure out a good strategy. We want most of the material to end up kind of over there on that bank, and then around that tree, and then around this bank up until, this tree here. We can put a little bit where we're at here on this side. I already got a little bit of a pile going here, but we don't want to put too much over here because the driveway is nearby. We'll see how it goes here. But I'm thinking I want to work most of it to the other side. So we'll probably start here, get this thrown up on the bank here, and then once we get towards the center, start bailing it out towards the other edge. See if we can kind of build ourselves a little bit of a dam to throw some of the sloppier stuff behind. Alrighty, here goes our first mat. I am going to use them because that squishy bottom out there is, well, just that, it's still squishy. All we got to do is not lose mats and not lose the machine. after a little bit of consideration, I decided it's probably best to go around from the bank and get everything I can. That way I'll get as far as I can reach, and then I'll be able to set it back behind me nice and far, so I've still got room to pile stuff on the bank. So that's what I'm gonna do here now for a little bit. I'll also give time for that water to drain out a little bit more, and we'll go from there. Well folks, that's how far we got. Just one reach out the whole way around. I did take a good sized dent out of the volume material that needs to come out, you know, so that much is good at least. Yeah, I guess we'll be back another day with some bigger toys, right? We'll get this thing cleaned up and loaded up and we'll be on our way. I'll go ahead, I'll probably make it all one video. Just hang in there for like 2 seconds. Your 2 seconds will probably be my couple of weeks. Alrighty, it is a new day and we've got ourselves a bigger machine. Here we are. I was able to rent this, I don't know what this is, like a DX235 I think. It's a reduced tail swing machine, which is not, you know, pertinent to our job here today. This thing should have enough reach to be able to reach out into the center of the pond and get everything that we need to get. Now, we are gonna need to set the front idlers out on the mats, I'm expecting. So I'm kind of hoping they'll hold up because they're not as heavy duty as what is typically used in big machines like this. We'll have to see how that goes. But this machine also came with a thumb, which I was not anticipating, which is handy because that'll make moving those mats around a lot easier. Let me get her warmed up and we'll walk out to the pond there and we'll see how things go. That took quite a bit of goofing around. I don't know why that had to be so hard, but the image they used to represent the shear function in the machine is a pair of scissors, and it's just our classic world of no words and all images that left me kind of stranded. So ended up figuring it out in the end. It just took a little bit of time first thing this morning. Alrighty, I'm over here on the far side, which is where I wanted to get started. And the plan here is to set these mats out into the pond, you know, out right into maybe this area right here, something like that, just a little bit. Just so I can set the front of the tracks out there to give me a little more reach. Yeah, look at that thing. She's got the bucket straight up over the cab just about. No, I mean it is. It's not even just about, it really is. I was actually kind of hoping to be closer to this corkscrew tree, so maybe we'll move ourselves over at some point if we get the chance. But yeah, that's super cool. I've never run one like that before. Okay, after after jumping out of the machine and kind of strategizing a little bit, figure out what's the next move, we're going to go down, we're going to start down there by that pile, and we're going to work our way back this direction. So I'm going to pick these mats up again, and we'll head down there. Alright, we got this part over here dipped out as much as we could from just the edge of the bank. We're going to set up our mats right here, and then we should be able to reach a decent bit of what's out there still. I'm really hoping we can get most of it. That far end's where I messed around a bunch with the Mini and tried to experiment with my mats originally, and so even the firm stuff isn't that firm anymore. It's also been underwater a lot longer since we pumped it out originally, so we'll see. That might turn into a mess. I'm hoping not. Let's draw ourselves a line. I can't go out much further right where I'm at here, so we'll just have to do what we can. Alrighty, so I've moved down the bank here a little bit after destroying the bank over there. As you can see, just making a mess everywhere I go. Anyhow, I moved down the bank here a little bit, got my tracks parallel with the water's edge, and I'm going to try and dip some of this out. I need to put the water or the muck up this way more down than where it was coming out down. Alright, well I got this pile tossed up on the bank over here. It always looks like more mud up on the grass than does the pond. But either way, now is the time to go down in there and reach what we can reach. So the mats all together probably don't have much more surface area than these tracks do. These are probably 32-inch pads or something like that. I mean, there's probably a little bit of improvement, but I don't know. I'm really thinking about just tracking the machine down in there. The stuff is fairly firm. It ain't perfect, you know, and it is slimy as I've scooped this mud out over it, so it'll definitely make things messier. But I think that's going to be the most productive answer, really. We'll see. If I get to a point where I kind of would be half on the bank and half in the pond, I might get the mats back over here. But anyway, we're going to give it a try. We're going to jump down in there. Oh boy, they're sinking in. This might not be a good idea after all. I'm going to pick myself up and carry myself out here so that way the tracks will end up landing flat on the pond. See, oh, I feel them sinking in the more I squirm around here. Now the real question will be is where am I going to be able to set this? Do we have a spot? Kind of, not really. I'll check back in with you once we made some progress. Well, I'm kind of wrapping up my presents over here on this side of the pond. We got just about all we can get, from this side of that tree over there. So as I'm walking my way out, I'm trying to build this bank back up a little bit. I literally just destroyed it with this machine, which means I should have seen that coming. Anybody would think that you have to bring in almost 60,000 pounds of excavator perched on the side of a pond that's only got topsoil for the bank. You're probably going to have to fix it up a little bit. So they're going to have a grading machine in here, which will be able to do the pretty stuff and make it nice. But I want to at least get the structure back so they can not have to do too much. That's what we're doing here. We're kind of tidying things up, trying to scrape the dry dirt that I knocked down in the pond back up out, form a new pond bank. I can't even say it's going to be in the same spot that it was. It might be a little bit bigger around on this side of the pond after this, but it'll be close. Still in the huge ruts I made when I went down in there. Got all the muck out, almost got the pond bank put back. The limestone, I wonder what that's about. Great. That's what this side looks like. It's not too bad, I'm pretty happy with it, to be honest. I wish I could make it look a little nicer, smooth out some of the ridges, but it's all going to be underwater and not matter here in probably the next couple weeks. I won't get too stressed out about it. We do have the hardest part yet to do still, and that is that big soft spot over there. That will all be most certainly reachable with some mats. I don't think I'll be able to reach it all from the bank. We'll see how that goes. That might be pretty tricky. Also kind of running out of room over there with the driveway to pile the stuff up. You gotta do what you gotta do. So we'll make it happen here. I'm gonna finish up this pond bank here, and then I'll bring you guys back once I'm over there. Hopefully it's not to show you a sunken excavator. Alright, we are back over here on the nightmare side. It's actually not that bad, but we're going to start by bailing some water. Oh boy, it won't be that bad if I can run this thing a little bit smoother. We're going to start by bailing some water out of this hole. This is where, when I had the Mini here, I kind of had ventured out in kind of a second tier of digging after getting everything I could from the bank, and so it held water that couldn't get to the spot that I had dug out for the homeowner to pump from. We will do our best here. It looks like we're going to have to build ourselves a little bit of a pond up here because it's starting to run back in. Stop! Stop right there! To my disappointment, gonna have to go out there. I was hoping to maybe possibly reach everything, but as you can see, that's the only spot I think I'm gonna be able to reach. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully there's something firm here still, and I didn't mess up too much when I was in here with the Mini, but there's only one way to find out. Alright, so I set up some mats and walked out here on them, and so far, it's going okay. I definitely walked out the absolute minimum. I hope to not have to go any further. I think I'm going to be able to reach just about everything. There might be a few crumbs left in the center. Hopefully nothing that we can't tolerate. We're going to run out of room for spoils here real fast, which is great. I'm not sure what the game plan will be here exactly. We just have to keep kind of working away at it. I'm trying to be super gentle and take my time to accelerate and slow down my swing. We'll just see how it goes. Well folks, in the end we got everything all finished up, and here's the pond. It's several months later, and the customer had a friend who spread out the spoils for him, and they planted some grass seed. You can see the banks are nice and defined, and it looks really good. I'm really satisfied with how it worked out. I don't think I filmed it real well, but to just kind of summarize, those mini excavator mats didn't really work out all that well with the mini excavator. There's a number of factors. They wanted to slide down the pond bottom slope, and then also the machine wanted to slide around on top of the mats. I think it was mostly because their rubber tracks didn't grip them like steel tracks do. When I put the big machine up on those mats, it didn't slide around real bad, and it worked out just fine. So I'm thinking that was the difference. I'll still keep those mats. I've put money into them. I've got them. They're not taking up that much space back at the shop, so I think we'll use them for something, if nothing else, bridging a ditch or something like that further down the road. I am super impressed that they held up under the big machine, because actual crane mats that they use under cranes and big excavators are a lot heavier and a lot thicker, so I'm impressed with how they held up, but they just were not the solution for this job. The only real solution, as you saw, was a much bigger machine. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, especially if you made it to the end. Hit that like button if you think the video deserved it, and if you want to see more, make sure you subscribe. I really enjoy making these videos, and I hope that you guys enjoy them as well. Thanks so much, and we'll see you on the next one.